welcome to Viking Views. I'm Ashley Lorenz. Forbidden Broadway is the first musical production to be produced in the Malcolm Center for Student Life. Missouri Valley College's Division of Fine Arts presented Forbidden Broadway October 7th through the 9th.
The musical is basically a parody or a satire, if you will, of like several different Broadway musicals that have happened, like Chicago, Spamalot, Wicked, you know, very famous musicals that made it into Broadway, like Les Miserables and things like that. And we're just taking their songs and putting a little parody spin on the lyrics.
This was the first musical production to be performed in the Malcolm Center, and the actors were worried about how the production would turn out.
Performing in the Malcolm Center I thought was going to be really strange because we don't really have that much room backstage to change, but it actually wasn't that difficult. The way they have it set up is a nice little setup for the small cast that we have.
We don't have as much space. It's easy to see that the theater is much wider. So for that, though, we had to make sure all of our dance moves were accountable. It just took a lot of movement and muscle memory, but we got it down.
Despite the challenges of a small stage, the cast thinks the audience enjoyed the production.
I believe if they got some of the music references, some of the songs that we were referencing, then they really appreciated that we sung their favorite songs in Broadway with a comical spin. And I believe even if they didn't, then some of the songs are just really catchy.
The Division of Fine Arts plans to host more events in the Malcolm Center. The Division of Fine Arts' next event is the Fall Showcase, October 13th. Several Missouri Valley College's organizations headed to the annual Arrow Rock Heritage Festival. Viking Views' Courtney Campbell reports the time at the festival is worth the trip.
Missouri Valley's International Club makes a trip to an annual festival in Arrow Rock, Missouri, where bringing back the old heritage of a town is a must for the locals.
I'm part of the Missouri Valley College concert choir, and we were here today to sing a few songs at the Arrow Rock Heritage Festival, and we were invited by other guests that Miss Malin knows, and just to show them what we're about, you know, sing a few songs and be part of the festival.
The Arrow Rock Heritage Festival is a two-day festival full of activities, food, entertainment, and many more educational aspects.
The Arrow Rock Heritage Festival with the International Club. We came here to have a little bit more knowledge about what's around campus and what's in Missouri, because obviously it's totally different from our country. So we kind of experience like what is going on around here, what people do, like what is the festival about. And we also came to see the choir of Missouri Valley College singing, and they did an amazing job, and that was really fun.
Missouri Valley College made its appearance at the Arrow Rock Heritage Festival. From the choir to the International Club, the festival is an annual event that happens in the fall and open to the public. Courtney Campbell, Viking Views.
The organizations hope to continue to attend and be a part of the festival in upcoming years. Missouri Valley College's basketball season has not started yet, but as Viking Views' Alicia Winston reports, the men's team has already started official practice.
Missouri Valley men's basketball team are at it again, with finishing a successful 2014-2015 season with making it to the national tournament in over 60 years. The Vikings start their journey again. Senior guard Brody Thompson hopes that his leadership can help them reach their ultimate goal.
My role personally, I feel like it's the same as it's always been. Be a leader, you know, get people organized on the court, make sure people bring it every day in practice, you know. Just make sure we're all where we need to be in the right spots at the right time.
Despite the Vikings losing key players, Thompson feels as the newcomers are a great addition to their team.
Well, a big thing for us, I feel like we have talent again this year, but the biggest thing is going to be chemistry, because that was a big key that we had last year was chemistry. And last year, our team captains, Brad and Dre and James Lane, they really brought it in practice every year. So with the new guys, if we get them blended in just right and they combine into the program, I think we'd be pretty successful.
The Vikings have added 7 newcomers to their team this year. Alicia Winston, Viking Views.
The Vikings' first home game is November 13th against Lindenwood University Belleville, starting at 7. Students gathered at the Burn Center to support the women's volleyball team as they played their conference rival, Central Methodist. The women's volleyball team fell to Central Methodist for Purple Pride Night. A serving contest was held between games for students to give them the chance to win Viking gear and pizzas. Tau Kappa Epsilon proved they were the loudest and most spirited organization on campus and won the $75 gift card to Pizza Hut. The volleyball team will play Baker University College September 13th in Baldwin City, Kansas. Loose Change is helping the National Association for Music Collegiate. Viking Views' Guillermo Mesquita reports on the organization raising money for its program.
The Change War is happening on the campus of Missouri Valley. Students are donating money in jars to see what genre of music will be played on the walkway.
First, like, they already play like classical music and some pop music, but I think it's a really good idea, like, to play different genres like R&B, jazz, and reggae. That's particularly what I voted for. So yeah, like, I think they already play like rock and roll. I haven't heard like Coldplay and stuff like that, but I really would like to hear like black music and R&B and jazz and soul music and stuff like that.
The National Association for Music Education Collegiate is trying to make a difference in music education at Missouri Valley College.
NAFMEC is the National Association for Music Education Collegiate. It's a nationwide organization that has its own groups on every campus, but it's also a professional organization. So its members are made up of music educators in the schools, public and private, so band directors.
The National Association for Music Education Collegiate hope to try and raise money for the future weeks to come. Guillermo Mesquita, Viking Views.
The genre winner was announced just before our taping of the show, and classical music is the winner. Missouri Valley College's resident assistants conduct health and safety inspections every so often. Viking Views' Randy Beck reports on what they expect when checking rooms.
Room checks.
Resident assistants and hall directors were put to work this past week with monthly room checks. They were on the lookout for fire and safety hazards as they began their checks. Housing and Student Director Brett Fuchs says the inspections are to keep students safe and to make sure equipment isn't being tampered with.
Usually we find some overloaded circuits, so people plugging, a power strip into a power strip, things like that. Those are potential fire hazards, and we want to stop that because we don't want a fire to happen, of course.
Students can be prepared for room checks by making sure rooms are clean and not in violation of any rules.
The first and foremost, just clean up their room. That's pretty much the key there is as long as your room is clean, you haven't overloaded any circuits, you don't have anything you're not supposed to have, you'll be good to go.
For more information on housing safety and security or future health and safety checks, students are asked to contact resident assistants, hall directors, or the Student Affairs Office. Randy Beck, Viking Views.
The students will be notified about when the next room checks will take place. Every student at Missouri Valley College can say that they've had an interaction with one of the squirrels on campus. Viking Views' Felix Alvarado reports on how nutty the squirrels are.
As you walk to class, you see students, teachers, and squirrels. There are two types of squirrels on campus, the eastern gray squirrel and fox squirrel, but to most students, they are just friendly animals that roam around campus.
The squirrels are interesting, like an interesting part of the campus. They jump from tree to tree, and they're pretty cool to see when you're going to and from your classes. And I think everybody kind of gets a little kick out of seeing them running around and playing with each other.
I think they're awesome. They're everywhere. Yeah, they're like ninjas. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
The squirrels? I mean, I think they're pretty crazy. They just don't give a. They don't care. They just do what they want,
A lot of students have stories involving the squirrels.
I'm walking and a squirrel runs across my right in front of me, and I just couldn't even react because I was so tired.
The mobile squirrel is even on social media and has a Twitter and is constantly talked about on Yik Yak.
Yeah, I've seen a couple Yik Yaks about the squirrel.
One of the squirrels has like a black front. I think they call him the squigga. Yeah, I heard he has a Twitter.
Viking Views, Felix Alvarado.
Twitter users can hashtag mobile squirrel to be a part of the conversation on social media. That's Viking Views for this week. I'm Ashley Lorenz. Thanks for watching.